friends, welcome back to another video. Very excited that you're here. And yeah, totally chilling in my pajamas because exams are over, but less. Don't know if anybody else gets super stressed over them, but if you do, I'm sure you're almost through it. You've got this. Exams are over. I'm so happy. Here we go. And today, if you can't tell already by the title, we are talking about how I competed for Miss Teen Ontario. Yes, it is a pageant, and it was held in Toronto, or like Markham area, and it was a lot of fun, and I'm gonna kind of tell you what happened, what we did, and basically my experience, and how awesome it was. So the first thing you did is you filled out like an online application form, sent in all your stuff, and then the manager would contact you and you had a Skype interview. So I did my Skype interview and she told us that we would be notified within like 24 hours if we had been accepted to compete in provincials, which was competing for Miss Teen Ontario. And then if you move on from that, you get to go to nationals, which is a week in August, to compete for Miss Teenage Canada. So I did my interview and then I got an email the next day saying, yes, congratulations, we want you to compete in Miss Teen Ontario. I was like over the moon. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm actually doing this. Pageants are not really my thing. They don't seem like my thing, but I am fairly interested in like beauty, and I used to model a couple years ago, and I love doing photo shoots, and I have done runway shows 4 times, I think. And after doing it 4 times, I was like, I want to do this again. I miss it. I love it. So I did. And that was kind of like my main, like, why did I do it? Why did I apply? So yeah, I got the email. There's a bunch of other forms that I had to fill out. And the provincial pageant was about $600. Which is a lot, but it goes towards like the venue and the choreographers and all of the stuff for this show. They did not provide hair and makeup this year, which was totally fine. I don't mind doing mine. So provincials was 2 days, Saturday and a Sunday at this hotel. So most of the girls stayed over unless they lived really close. I know a couple drove back and forth because they lived like right there. So Saturday, unfortunately, I couldn't be there all day because I had other plans. But basically the girls got there at like 10 a.m. and they did rehearsals and learned choreography and kind of what was going to happen. And then I got there about 5:30 or so, and starting at 5 they were doing prejudging. So they had the stage set up, and basically what was happening is every girl has a number, and so you would have your number. And on Saturday night they were doing swimwear prejudging and interviews, because obviously they're not going to do interviews in the show, then it would be like a 5-hour show and that would be long. So I got there and the girl was like, go get your swimsuit on, you're gonna do your swimsuit. So basically put my swimsuit on, and I had missed rehearsals, so I didn't really know what the exact like walk and poses and stances were that they wanted us to do. So I actually had one of the other girls, because we had all been talking in like a group chat and it was super fun, and she recognized me when I got there. She's like, I'm gonna teach you, I'm gonna give you a lowdown, and she was fantastic for doing that. And so basically I knew it, I got the lowdown. And being visually impaired, one of the things that I do when I walk the runway is I count my steps. So there was actually 2 steps up to get on the stage. So I knew my 2 steps, and then it was like 5 to the middle, 5 to the corner, 7 all the way to the other corner, 3 back to the middle, 5 back. You know, it was kind of a thing so that I know I'm not going to fall off the stage, because, oh my god, that would be awful if I fell off the stage, especially in like a show. So I did swimwear, and then basically right afterwards, there was also 2 things going on. So there was Miss Teenage Ontario and Miss World Ontario, which, Miss World Ontario would be later competing for Miss World Canada. So all the teens would go do their swimwear, all the worlds would go and do their swimwear, and then we went teens interview. So I was 23, so I was like really far down on my interview. My interview didn't happen until like 8 o'clock. But basically I walked into my interview and we'd already filled out a lot of questions on like what we do, what our platform is, what community service we do. So they kind of knew all that already. So basically we sat down and they literally asked like 3 questions. They were like, why did you apply? And actually they asked what my favorite cartoon character was. And I was kind of like, what relevance does this have? But anyways, it was super fun. I picked Goofy because he's fun. He likes to be himself. And I like that. And then basically we all went back up to our room. I went swimming after. And then I crashed in bed because it had been a long day of standing in heels and being excited. So then that brings us to Sunday. Sunday, we got there at 10 a.m. I was up at 7. I got dressed. We went down, got breakfast. My whole family stayed in the hotel. And then so we went down at 10, and basically we didn't really get started until probably close to 11 because just everything they were trying to get everything ready. So first we were basically with the choreographer all day for rehearsals, practicing like our walking on the stage, our posing, and our opening number. So for the opening number, it was kind of like a dance sort of walkthrough. And it was a lot of fun. It was kind of chaotic because there was like some dancers who knew exactly what they were doing, and then there was like us normal people over here who were like, okay, I gotta do this on beat, sure. And so we basically spent all day with the choreographer, and then we break at 4, and we went to go get ready. So a bunch of girls. So we didn't have our hotel room for the second night because we were driving home after the show. So me and a couple other girls went up to one girl who was staying the night again, up to her room and got ready because where we were, there wasn't like plug-ins, and a lot of us were curling our hair. We're like, we have nowhere to plug in curling irons and stuff. So we went up to her room and got ready. So my mom helped me with my makeup, and then I curled my hair upstairs. We kind of hung out, and then we all put on our black cocktail dresses. So the first thing in the show was our opening number, our dance, and we all wore our black cocktail dress and then either shoes that were clear, silver, gold, or nude. And then, so now I'll kind of do like a run through of the show. So we did our opening number, we come off, and then we stayed in our cocktail dresses, and each girl went up and did an introduction. They said their name, their age, and where they're from. So, hi, I'm Emilee, I'm 17, and I am from the Kawartha Lakes. I'm from a very small town that has a weird name, so I wasn't going to say that name. So I was like, Kawartha Lakes, because it's a pretty damn big area. And then we come off, and we all got changed into our evening gowns. So our evening gowns could be whatever, and they could be with whatever shoes and whatever jewelry. So we all went back, got our evening gowns on, and then all the teens did their evening gowns in numerical order, and then all the girls did their evening gowns in numerical order. And this evening gown part was being judged. So swimwear and interview had been judged the day before. They were each worth 25% of our points. And then evening gown is another 25%. And the last 25%, 20 was like photogenic, and 5% was like behavior on how you were during the weekend. So photogenic, they did basically every girl submitted a photo, a full body shot and a headshot, and judges basically reviewed it and was like, what's the deal on this? So then after evening gown was intermission. They had an intermission, and I found it funny that we didn't have intermission to like get changed. We had to stay in our evening gowns because then after intermission, each girl went up and said what their platform was. So, hi, my name is Emilee. I am legally blind, and my platform is disability advocacy for the blind and low vision community. I forget what I said. I was like, I was put into a world that was not made for me, so let's make it accessible. And then I walked off like, heck yeah. I got a lot of like oohs and ahs and hollers from the crowd being like, whoa, she's blind. That's cool. And then we came off and we got our swimwear on. And yes, we'd already done swimwear prejudging, but this was basically like a filler so that judges could calculate points and get to know who won basically. And so we put our swimsuits on, and we actually did this modeling in like sections of like 3. So 3 people would go up, we would walk all together and then walk back all together. Just kind of make it go a little quicker because it's already been pretty long by now. There was 24 teens and 30 worlds. So there was 54 of us who were doing our intro, walking in our evening gowns, saying our platform, walking in swimsuits. Like, it was a lot. And then we came off and changed back into our evening gowns for crowning. So what happened basically is we all lined up, we all walked back on the stage once, kind of like all together in like a horseshoe sort of shape. We walk on at the back, up to the front, and around to the back. And then we all came backstage, or like side change room area thing. And from there, the manager girl, actually, after we all walked, the girls who had won last year, so like Miss Teen Ontario, Miss Teenage Canada, Miss World Canada, Miss Teenage Waterloo region, whoever won, like a bunch of girls who had won last year were there. They each went up and like did a little modeling, did a little speech, so we had to wait through that. And then they did crowning. So basically she called a number and the name. She went back and forth between teen and world, teen and world. So it was a teen, she'd call a number and a name, they'd go up, they get crowned and flowers, and then just kind of hang out on the stage. And then she did Miss Teenage Ontario and Miss World Ontario last. I did not win a crown, I am not going to nationals, and I am not sad about that. I feel like I have to make that very clear, because a lot of people are like, but you didn't win. Like, how can it be a fun experience if you didn't win? And for me, like, it wasn't about winning. It was about going, and like, I missed walking the runways. I wanted to walk the runway again. So it was about walking the runway, and honestly, I'd only really been there for Sunday, and I made so many friends. Like, all 23 other girls I am still talking to, because like, we miss each other already because it was so fun. Like, they're my pageant sisters now. And so, like, it was fun to go hang out. And yes, we walked in heels all day Sunday, and my feet still hurt 3 days later. And, you know, but we all suffered through that pain together, and we hung out together, we laughed together, we ate together, we got ready together. And then we did this super fun show where we just got to be ourselves and feel beautiful and pretty, and it was so much fun. And, you know, I don't care that I won, because it was a fun enough experience as is. I don't make excuses or anything, but I had been sick, like throwing up Thursday, Friday, and like Saturday morning. I still didn't feel well. So I don't feel like I did my very best on interview and prejudging Saturday night. But, like, I don't make excuses. Maybe I just wasn't national material, and that is totally fine, because it was so much fun, and I don't have an issue with that. And otherwise, I think that is it. That was my pageant experience. Maybe I will do it next year. I don't know. It'll probably be a decision I make when next year rolls around. But I can't apply next year. It was ages 13 to 18, so next year would be like the last possible year that I could apply. But, you know, it was fun, and I think that's all that matters. And I think I probably would do it again, because of how much fun I had. And, I mean, so every girl that did win got a crown, and then they will get a sash with their title on it. So obviously Miss Teenage Ontario gets one that says Miss Teenage Ontario, but the other girls get one that represents their region. So like, there's like a Miss Teenage Waterloo region, Miss Teenage GTA. My region was like Miss Teenage Kawartha Lakes, and they get all that, which I'm super excited for. All of them are so stoked that they get to go to nationals, and I'm so happy for them. They all really deserved it. They were all fantastic. And I think that's it. I had fun, and that's all that matters. And thank you guys for watching. That was my Miss Teenage Ontario experience, my very first pageant. Hope you enjoyed. Bye. Also, I'm totally gonna insert photos right now.